The house was still draped in the quiet hush of Christmas morning when the words found me. Below, the faint aroma of coffee I'd just brewed hung in the air. Upstairs, in the guest room where Clara's sister, Sarah, slept, laughter bloomed. Sharp, unexpected, cutting through the festive calm. I was halfway up the stairs, a casual inquiry about coffee on my lips, when my name surfaced, followed by another ripple of mirth. I stopped, frozen on the landing. The door was ajar. Enough. Ethan is so pathetic. Clara's voice drifted out, light and amused. You should see him. Every Christmas, he gets so excited about his gifts for me, like he's expecting a medal or something. Sarah's laughter joined hers, a brittle chime. The best part, Clara continued, and her voice dropped slightly, leaning into the confession. Every single gift I buy him, straight from his own credit card. He never even checks the statement. He's like a trained dog, so happy with whatever scraps I throw him. The air in my lungs felt suddenly thin, sharp, like breathing glass shards. A trained dog. 5 years of marriage, reduced to a punchline, a performance I hadn't known I was giving. They kept talking about faking reactions, about doing this for years, finding it hilarious. Sarah asked why she stayed. His job has good benefits, and he handles all the bills, Clara answered, her tone practical, devoid of warmth. Plus, he's so easy to manage. Who else would put up with me like this? I descended the stairs not just quietly, but in silence that felt absolute, heavy with the weight of what I'd heard. My hands trembled as I poured the coffee, the mug rattling against the counter. I sat in the living room, the Christmas tree lights blinking merrily, a surreal contrast to the cold not forming in my gut. An hour later, everyone was downstairs, the picture of holiday cheer. I watched Clara through a newly forged lens, a stranger wearing my wife's face. Her bright smiles, the exaggerated gasps over the jewelry, the earbuds, the skincare set I'd spent weeks carefully selecting. They were all performative, a practiced act. When I opened my gifts from her, a watch, headphones, a video game collector's edition, I smiled, thanked her, a mirror of her own deceit. I knew, with a chilling certainty, that I had paid for every single item myself. Her parents were oblivious. Sarah caught Clara's eye, a shared smirk passing between them as I spoke, solidifying the sickening reality. The day became a bizarre play, and I was merely an actor who had just realized his lines and his co-stars were a lie. After Clara's family left 2 days later, the pretense shattered. I did what I should have done long ago. I pulled up our credit card statements, our bank records. It wasn't just Christmas gifts. It was a systematic dismantling of our shared finances for her exclusive benefit, a theft conducted with a smile. Cash advances from my cards, purchases on hidden store credit cards in both our names, money siphoned from our joint savings, not for household needs, but for spa days, expensive lunches with Sarah, designer clothes, all while she lamented our inability to afford home renovations or a trip I'd dreamed of. Then I saw it. Recurring transfers from our savings account to Sarah. Hundreds of dollars, month after month. For what? It didn't matter. It was ours, and she gave it away. The days that followed were a blur of autopilot. Go to work, come home, maintain the facade. Inside, a cold, quiet fury simmered. Clara suspected nothing. She was too busy enjoying the spoils, posting online about her amazing husband. Every night, I lay awake, staring into the dark, the phrase echoing. He's like a trained dog. 5 years. 5 years of being someone's convenience, someone's joke, someone's ATM with legs. The planning began in the dead of night. No dramatics, no confrontation. That would grant her the stage to twist the narrative. I needed precision. I opened my laptop, my mind unervingly clear, and began building a list. Everything I knew, everything I had access to, everything I needed to do. Clara slept beside me, oblivious, as I laid the groundwork for the end of us. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, I moved with a quiet purpose, a silent predator dismantling its own trap. I changed passwords, set up two-factor authentication, redirected mail. I called my bank, requesting new cards sent not to our home, but my workplace, citing a vague security concern. When Clara asked about a fraud alert on the joint account, I fed her a line about data breaches. She swallowed it whole. The irony wasn't lost on me. I started documenting everything. A cold, factual journal of betrayal. Photos of items, receipts, screenshots of transactions. Proof, for my own sanity as much as for legal purposes. Slowly, subtly, I shifted the dynamic at home. Stopped doing her laundry. Didn't ask about dinner. Went to the gym after work instead of rushing back. Declined social events we would have normally attended. Nothing overt, just a gradual withdrawal of the services of the trained dog. She noticed, of course. Asked if work was stressful. The old me would have groveled. The new me just shrugged. Behind the scenes, the larger pieces fell into place. I found a small apartment, paid the deposit from a small personal savings account she never knew existed. Ironically, started for a surprise anniversary trip. I met with Ben, an old college friend who was now a financial advisor. His face as I laid out the evidence mirrored my own initial shock. He helped map out the financial disentanglement. The red flags I'd ignored over the years now seemed blindingly obvious. Her irritation when I checked our joint account, her dismissal of budget talks, the gradual isolation from my friends like Ben and Chris, those suspiciously expensive girls' trips with Sarah. I reached out to Ben and Chris. Alice had told them I was busy, while telling me they were bad influences. The reunion was a quiet bomb. Around day 8, I noticed Clara texting frantically. That night, feigning sleep on the couch, I saw her slip into the bathroom with her phone. The door wasn't quite shut. Her hushed voice, talking to Sarah. Something's wrong with Ethan. He's acting different. What if he knows something? Sarah's voice, dismissive. You're being paranoid. He's too clueless to figure anything out. He's got you wrapped around his finger. That dismissive comfort sealed her fate too. By day 10, new bank accounts were open, direct deposit redirected. Assets documented. Important papers gathered. A suitcase of essentials packed and hidden in my car. A meeting with a divorce attorney recommended by Ben. Clara was sensing the shift. She even tried initiating sex, something rare. I made excuses. The confusion on her face. The trained dog wasn't performing on command. Wednesday, before the planned exit, Sarah came for dinner. I played the part, polite, slightly distant, the husband occupied with work. After dinner, I excused myself, ostensibly to work upstairs. Instead, I sat on the landing, the same spot as Christmas morning. And they talked about me. Clara worried. Sarah reassured her, confident in my supposed docility. Friday morning arrived. Clara was leaving for her weekend at Sarah's. The final act of the performance. I helped her with her bag, kissed her goodbye. She seemed relieved, said she'd miss me. I smiled, said I'd miss her too. The words were ash in my mouth. The moment her car pulled away, the facade dropped completely. The prearranged moving company arrived within the hour. 3 hours later, my life. The furniture I'd brought into the marriage, my electronics, my clothes, personal effects I could prove were mine, was gone. I left her clothes, her vanity, items clearly hers, or things we'd bought together without clear individual proof. At the bank, I withdrew precisely half of the joint savings. Not a penny more, despite her theft. Legal cleanliness was paramount. Back at the empty house, the final tableau. On the dining room table, I laid out the proof. Copies of credit card statements showing her purchases of my gifts, records of her cash withdrawals, printouts showing the money sent to Sarah, receipts for the gifts I had actually bought for her, and the transcript of their conversation. He's like a trained dog. Beside the stack, divorce papers from my lawyer. And finally, my house key and my wedding ring. I blocked her number. But not before one final text, cold and precise. The trained dog learned some new tricks. Enjoy your weekend with Sarah. I left other numbers unblocked. I wasn't a monster, just finished. In my new, sparsely furnished apartment, I ordered food, opened a beer, and waited. Around 8 that night, the notifications exploded. Clara was home. Text after text from unknown numbers, voicemails, emails, social media messages. The panic was palpable, a storm I had unleashed and now observed from a safe distance. With each ignored message, a weight lifted. For the first time in years, the air felt breathable. The next morning, the text from Sarah. She's screaming. Please answer her. I looked at it, a twisted sense of satisfaction warring with the lingering emptiness. I didn't reply immediately. Assembled furniture, made coffee, showered. The texts kept coming. This isn't funny. She's having a breakdown. Where did you take everything? Your work said you took vacation days. That last one brought a genuine, cold smile. Planning. Around noon, I responded to Sarah. One message. You both laughed at me on Christmas morning, called me a trained dog. How's it feel to be on the other side? Her immediate, frantic reply. Girl talk. Taking it out of context. Alice loves you. You're an asshole. The predictable dance of denial and attack. I blocked her too. The messages spread. Her parents, mutual friends. Most had heard only her side, the abandoned wife. I kept my responses brief, enigmatic. There are two sides. I'll share mine when ready. A few days later, an email from Clara, time-stamped in the early hours. I know I messed up. We can work through this. The house feels empty. Holly was pressuring me. Classic deflection, blaming the sister, minimizing her actions. I forwarded it to my lawyer. Later, a call from an unknown number. Sarah. She sounded different, subdued. Clara was staying with her, barely functioning. She dropped the bomb. Without access to my income and the joint accounts, Clara had already maxed out her own cards. Financial reality had bitten hard. Not my problem, I told Sarah. Perhaps Alice should have thought about financial independence before treating me like an ATM for 5 years. Sarah actually cried, apologizing for her part. I almost felt something, then remembered her laughter. Before hanging up, I gave her the final instruction. Tell Alice my lawyer will contact her next week. That's the only communication she's getting from me. Weeks turned into months. The divorce proceeded with surprising speed. No kids, incontestable evidence. The financial fallout was severe for them. I heard through the grapevine that Clara had to get a roommate for the house to afford the mortgage. That roommate. Sarah. The perfect, enabling sister relationship fracturing under the strain of shared financial consequence. We had one face-to-face meeting with lawyers present. Clara looked different, diminished, the polished facade gone. She cried when she saw me, tried to reach out. My lawyer laid out the terms, sell the house, split the proceeds, generous given her actions, division of assets. What I took was documented as mine, no alimony. Her lawyer countered with demands that evaporated when my lawyer slid the folder of evidence across the table, the statements, the recordings, the documented pattern of abuse. Her face drained of color. The power had shifted irrevocably. Outside the meeting, she made one last attempt. Grabbed my arm in the parking lot. Crying, mascara running, promising to change, get therapy, cut off Sarah. For a fraction of a second, a ghost of the woman I'd loved flickered. Then Christmas morning, the laughter, the words, trained dog, crashed back. I gently removed her hand. I deserve better than being someone's joke, I said, my voice quiet, devoid of emotion. So do you. Then I walked away. The divorce was final 3 months later. The house sold. Assets divided. Signatures on paper. 5 years, reduced to legal terms. It's been 6 months now. My apartment is home. I've reconnected with Ben and Chris, made new friends. Started a cooking class, something Alice always said I'd be terrible at. It turns out, I'm not. Last I heard, Alice and Sarah are still living together, the strain evident. Sarah's boyfriend moved out. The financial reality showed Sarah who Clara truly was, someone who takes and takes. Sometimes, the silence in my apartment is profound. I think about it all, not with regret, but a quiet astonishment. How could I have been so blind? Why did I accept it? Therapy helps unravel the years of subtle manipulation. It wasn't weakness. It was trust. I trusted someone who didn't deserve it. Yesterday, a friend requested on social media. Alice. I declined. 10 minutes later, a text from an unknown number. I miss you. I'm sorry. I've changed. I didn't respond. No need. That chapter is closed. The trained dog learned new tricks, found a new home, and is finally, gloriously, off the leash.